The calabash wasn't meant to crack. Rain lashed the roof of the shrine, thunder shaking its mud walls. Seer Ama crouched in the center, her hands steady, her breath shallow. Before her sat the calabash, old, dark, carved with prayers in a forgotten tongue. Inside, palm oil, kola nut, and one drop of her own blood. That was the price to speak with the ancestors. But as the wind howled and the storm pressed against the shrine, her hand slipped. The blade nicked too deep. A second drop of blood fell, and the calabash cracked down the middle. The fire died. The air changed. The vision slammed into her mind like a scream underwater. A mountain of skulls weeping red tears. Children chanting backward names in burning fields. A black sun swallowing its own race. And eyes. Endless eyes, watching her. She screamed and fell back. But the calabash was no longer broken. It was whole. Still. As if it had never been touched. Bloodlight in the calabash. Morning broke dull and grey. The storm had passed, but Ama hadn't slept. She sat outside the shrine, rocking gently, her fingers twitching with phantom pain. The villagers called her name from a distance, gently at first, then with growing concern. She ignored them. Every time she blinked, the eyes returned. She tried to burn herbs. The smoke called into screaming mouths. She tried to pray. Her own voice sounded foreign. Every mirror cracked. Every fire burned cold. The gods no longer answered. Only one voice came. It was not one she recognized. It spoke from shadows, from reflections, from the pulse in her own neck. You saw what was not meant to be seen. Now you are seen. She fled the village by nightfall. North, toward the forest of hung names, where whispers say a gate to the spirit realm lies buried in roots. There, she hoped she could beg the old ones to take the vision back. But even in the forest, she was haunted. The shadows around her moved without wind. Trees bled sap that hissed when touched. Insects buzzed warnings in languages she never learned. And in her sleep, her dreams were hijacked by that same red light, a light that burned not from the sky, but from inside her own chest. Then, just before she collapsed from exhaustion, she saw him. The traveler. He stood beneath a dying baobab, cloaked in mist and silence. The vision haunts you, he said without moving his lips. She staggered toward him. You know what I saw? The traveler didn't answer. Instead, he crouched and dipped his fingers into the dirt. A greenish mist rose from the soil, revealing shapes, a calabash, shattered in reverse, a girl surrounded by flames, a circle of gods turning their backs. Not every truth is meant to be held, he murmured. Some must be buried. He reached into his robe and pulled out a bone charm carved with an unknown sigil. Take this. When the bloodlight finds you again, and it will break this on your tongue. But what will it do? Ama whispered. Either save you, or silence you, he said. And then he was gone. Night fell like a curse. The bloodlight returned, now outside her body, floating like a sunless flame. It circled her, whispering her vision back into her ears. Over and over and over. The Skull Mountain. The reverse chants. The black sun. The eyes. She fell to her knees, pressed the charm to her lips and hesitated. What if it made things worse? The bloodlight surged forward. Ama screamed and bit the charm in half. Time twisted. A pulse of blinding white tore through the forest. Everything stopped, no wind, no breath, no sound. Then, silence. The flame was gone. The air was clean. The night was peaceful. But so was Ama. Too peaceful. She lay still on the forest floor, eyes open, glowing faintly red. In the morning, a young hunter found her body, perfectly preserved, skin cool as stone. But in her clenched hand was the other half of the charm, still warm. He ran back to the village. By sundown, a new story had already begun to spread. A seer who saw too much. A calabash that shows the end of the world. And a mysterious traveler whose eyes glow like forest fire. Moral: some visions are gifts. Others are traps disguised as truth.